tersimpan, terbingkai, selamanya kan berada di dalam hatiku. Yeah, my name is Emma Elliott. I'm a singer-songwriter based here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Laguku ada di dua bahasa Inggris sama bahasa Indo. And I'm gonna turn 21 soon. And yeah, that's what I have to say.
21 years.
Ya, 21 tahun. Udah mau bulan
21.
ini.
Oh, berarti asli mana dong? Kalau di apa? Kelahiran kamu gitu.
Aku memang tumbuhnya di sini. Tapi ayahku orang Amerika juga. Jadi ada blasteran dikit. Aku di rumah sering bicara bahasa Inggris. Tapi ibuku memang orang dari sini, di Palembang. So dengan dia aku juga sering pakai bahasa Indo.
Kenal musik umur berapa?
Aku sih disuruh nyanyi dari kecil. Cuman karena ibu rasa kayak ada I had a bit of a skill in it. Tapi aku nggak sampai kelas 4 SD, aku suka banget. Karena pas itu aku di atas panggung main sebagai karakter. And yeah, in that musical environment aku bisa cinta dengan nyanyi deh saat itu.
Nyanyi aja?
Ya sih. Aku suka acting juga, nari, tapi aku sih orangnya lebih suka dengan nyanyi sekarang.
Di waktu itu apa yang kamu dengerin? Yang dari orang tua kamu sering muterin lagu. Itu kamu yang tahu waktu itu apa?
Ada satu lagu dari ABBA. Itu memang dari, aku nggak tahu bisa inget, aku masih bayi waktu pas itu. Waktu pas itu aku memang anak suka nangis. Jadi susah untuk, I think for my parents it was hard to control me. Tapi pas ayahku nyanyi Knowing Me, Knowing You from ABBA, for some reason aku suka banget kalau dia nyanyi. Kayak dikit aneh gitu, jadi aku suka banget. And then I stopped crying hearing him sing, and I always laugh when I'm hearing him sing that song. So kalau saya harus ingat, ya Knowing Me, Knowing You from ABBA, atau Strawberry Fields Forever, itu juga. Mamma Mia, ya ABBA gitu deh. Kalau yang dulu-dulu banget. Ya.
Berarti setelah diputerin kamu dengerin gitu ya?
Iya.
Tapi di waktu dulu itu sempat mainin musik, alat musik ya?
Iya.
Apa aja tuh?
Aku dulu main piano. Ya itu sih. It was just piano for like a really long time. Yeah, I think it compared to the other instruments, it's pretty simple. Kayaknya untuk belajar chord atau belajar, key and that stuff pakai piano sih bisa lebih gampang. So yeah, it wasn't until pas aku lebih dewasa aku coba belajar gitar. So I can do those two now. But ya memang dari dulu pas anak cuma piano.
Orang tua kamu musisi atau enggak?
Bukan musisi. Mereka masih orang artistik in my opinion. Karena mereka tuh memang dari kecil suka ajak gambar atau ya dengerin musik juga, tapi mereka sih lebih ke visual artist. Yeah, so my dad is an architect. Dia suka gambar rumah atau liatin warna, fabric gitu orangnya. My mom is like that too.
Unsurnya seni di situ ya?
Iya.
Lebih ke visual art, gambar gitu.
Iya.
Berarti dari situ ya mungkin ke kamu bisa diikutin dari seni musiknya ya?
Iya.
Nah itu awal-awal kamu bikin lagu itu di usia berapa tuh?
Yang aku buat lagu?
Yang aku buat lagu atau memang sebelumnya pernah ikut nyanyi?
Aku sih pas kecil cuman suka main-main di sekolah, performing gitu. nggak sampai berapa tahun lalu aku coba untuk bikin musik sendiri. Entah kenapa sih aku kayak kayaknya waktu pas kecil itu kayak I didn't feel like I could be very good at it. But my dad, he kept encouraging me to try to write my own music. And then pas aku coba masuk ke industri musik, aku rasa kayak I felt like I needed my own music so that I can show who I am to people. So it wasn't until 2 tahun lalu aku memang mulai coba untuk bikin musik sendiri.
Berarti kecemplung di industri musik di 2 tahun yang lalu, 2023.
Well, I guess 2022 deh.
22.
Ya.
Tapi itu udah nyobain bikin lagu gitu udah.
Iya.
Berapa lagu?
Aku sekarang with Bingka I have 5 lagu.
Awal-awal untuk bikin lagu tuh inspirasinya kamu dapat dari mana atau memang ide kamu bikin aja gitu?
Dari ide aku sih. I don't know, I think for me music, especially nulisin musik itu is like my form of therapy in some ways. I think aku memang orangnya nggak terlalu suka cerita atau nggak terlalu open gitu. Memang I'm not like that, but I think dengan tulis musik aku bisa menjadi orang seperti itu. So with my stories, or not my stories, but with my lyrics, I think I can, talk about things that are a little bit harder for me to talk about, and they are karena itu memang personal banget. Like my song Lonely itu, aku ada lagu berjudul Lonely. It's just talking about loneliness and how lonely I felt at that time. But that song really helped me actually deal with that loneliness.
Berarti melampiaskannya di tulisan.
Iya. Kayak gitu deh.
Ngambil genrenya apa itu waktu kamu bikin? Apa jenis musiknya seperti apa? Kan kamu tulis di situ kan, di kertas, tulis musik. Kebiset gak dengan genre musiknya nanti kamu mau apa?
I think for me genre-nya memang sedikit mellow untuk kebanyakan lagu aku.
Why mellow?
I don't know. I think a lot of people don't like to hear that. Sometimes they hear a song and they think, oh, it's too sad. But for me, aku suka banget sama lagu yang memang sedih. I don't know. It's very therapeutic and it actually, I don't know. It makes me feel good somehow. Tapi aku sih ada satu lagu yang memang pop. Itu lagu pertama aku, memang upbeat sedikit. It's called Movie. That one is the only one that's like a little more upbeat. The rest is a little more mellow, a little more slow. Memang dari kecil aku belajar dengan lagu yang memang lebih slow. And I feel like my voice beneran showcase dengan lagu yang memang kayak gitu. So that's why I make songs like that also.
Berarti kamu bikin 5 lagu.
Yes.
Itu slow semua?
Gak semua.
Nggak semua?
Ada satu yang pop dikit.
Kenapa?
Itu at the time eksperimen.
Eksperimen?
Ya, dan pas itu aku juga suka banget sama banyak pop artis. Jadi untuk lagu itu aku terinspirasi dari mereka dan...
Dari siapa gitu yang kamu inspirasi? Akhirnya yang nggak mellow?
Ya, yang itu sih lebih ke kayak Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Atau aku inget banget Gracie Abrams juga.
Not Britney Spears?
Not Britney Spears. Not that pop.
Not Mariah Carey?
No, itu sih is very... Yeah, she does a lot of things with her voice. Tapi nggak kayak gitu sih. Lebih ke Taylor Swift yang memang kayak liriknya kayak aneh dikit. It's like a little bit weird, but it's still fun to listen to, I think.
Anehnya di mana?
Ya, karena nggak anehnya kayak kadang-kadang kan Taylor Swift kalau dia cerita memang kayak beneran cerita gitu kan. So I think dengan lagu itu aku memang coba untuk menjadi honest banget. I don't feel like anybody has talked about what I talked about in that song or has tried to express the things that I did in that. And I feel like Taylor Swift, man, dia juga orangnya kayak bisa, like dia punya lagu bisa jadi movie gitu. Memang with the way that she writes her lyrics. So I think yeah, that's where the weirdness comes from. But it's not weird, nggak aneh. Cuman kayak bikin lebih interesting aja deh.
Berarti kamu membuat aneh sendiri ya?
Iya, dianehin dikit lah.
Dianehin dikit,
ya.
tapi di lagu itu.
Di lagu itu, ya.
Judulnya apa tuh?
That one's Movie.
Wow.
Ya.
Itu berarti 5 lagu udah jadi semua.
Yes.
Nah, yang belum lama ini di sini lagu apa tuh?
Yang baru rilis berjudul Bingkai.
Apa tuh?
It's about nostalgia. It's about nggak bisa move on from a certain time, a certain place, a certain person maybe, and you just want to keep that moment in a frame, and that's how the frame or bingkai word came from. But yeah, kayak gitu sih. Juga lagu sedikit slow and mellow.
Aku dengar kalau slow tuh males sebenarnya. Harus yang nempel. Nempel nggak tuh lagu itu Bingkai? Menurut kamu gitu. Terus tanggapan yang dengerin tuh ada nggak responnya ketika dengerin lagu kamu?
Baru sih release, so I have yet to see exactly how people feel about it. But I think it's a really good song. For me, I think mellow songs bisa somehow connect banget dengan me and the way I perceive things. So obviously it's different. People listen to all kinds of music, and that's exactly why we have so many genres, is to cater towards all these people, of course. But yeah, I think with this song, it's sort of to help those people that can't really move on. Because I think those feelings can and should still be addressed because they are very real. So.
Proses berapa lama?
Berapa bulan? 2 bulan, maybe, if I had to think.
I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was really quick. Dengan lagu ini sedikit beda karena I think I had more people to work with. I was working with more musicians on this one. So prosesnya memang lebih cepat, in my opinion.
Dari recording selama 2 bulan.
Semuanya lah. So from getting the lyrics, which I heard them from somebody else. Itu workshop, gantiin liriknya dikit, so diproduksi lagi, and then we go to, record the instruments, and then we record my voice. I think all of that took about 2 months in total.
Ada hal tersulit ya? Yang kamu rasain?
Nggak terlalu sih. I think the unique thing about this is that aku biasanya kan suka tulis lagu aku. Kalau yang lagu ini memang seorang lain yang tulisin for me. Yeah, so I think at the beginning, yang beda dengan proses ini is that I really had to try to connect myself to the song and the lyrics. Whereas dengan lagu aku yang lain kan, dengan yang itu aku udah ada koneksinya kan. So I think that was maybe a little bit sulit, but I like the lyrics and I can relate to it. So it became very easy for me to sing, and I think because of that, it became very easy for people to listen to as well.
Berarti harus sinkron ya?
Iya, harus synchronize.
Yang nyiptain, berarti harus mendalami rasanya yang dia tulis ya?
Iya. Which is usually a bit hard for me. But I feel like this time around I was able to do it quite well.
Nah itu 5 lagu yang terutama Bingkai itu beda-beda yang nyiptainnya. Ya, itu kan satu lagu kamu, berarti 4 beda-beda.
Yang 4 itu aku sih yang ciptain.
Oh gitu.
And then I think some of them, 2 of them, dua-duanya ada orang yang memang also help me with that. But a couple of them is mostly from me, especially liriknya tuh aku yang suka tulis.
Nah ini itu di lagu Bingkai ini ketemu label atau enggak, dan bagaimana kok bisa kalau ada label gitu yang memang mau sama Emma?
For me sih, in terms of management and labels, that stuff was a very long process for me. I never really, in my opinion, honestly got any offers. I was going to all these places and trying to get to know all these people. instead. So I feel like it was more the flip side of things. But I feel like, in my opinion, somehow with being in the more independent, I've been able to actually curate a team that's more personalized to me, and it feels like it's helping me a lot more than if I were to be underneath a label. Because I ingat banget pas di awal itu aku memang ketemu banyak label, but it seemed like maybe with who I was at the time, it just felt like I wanted to direct things more, and I wanted more, I just wanted it to be more personalized. So that was my experience with labels. But I think they do, obviously there are benefits with being with a label. Luckily for me, I've been able to, with a lot of time, just sort of work my way around that and take my own time with these things.
Berarti udah ngebaca industrinya seperti apa dong?
What do you mean?
Industri musiknya udah bisa ngebaca belum?
Dibaca, maybe. I think there are a lot of things I understand about it, but it doesn't mean that I have yet to succeed in it, in my opinion. Because you can understand the things that need to be done. You could even be underneath a label, but in my opinion, gaining success from being an artist is a completely different thing. It can happen really randomly, or it could happen through hard work. But success for an artist is definitely not defined towards doing certain things, at least for me. But I feel like I do understand a lot of what happens behind the scenes now. Having been in this for years, I feel like I understand a lot of it now. But yeah, I think I still have a lot to learn, and I still have a lot more that I want to do within the industry.
Industri di sini kan lumayan kan, banyak, ada solois, ada band.
Iya.
Kamu bagaimana bersaing dengan mereka secara industri? Apakah memang mampu atau memang let it go, jalan aja gitu? Soalnya kan banyak nih, ada Nadine Amiza, ada kalau band distribusi yang lagi hype, ada India, terus Rizky Febian. Menurut kamu gimana tuh? Apa merasa kesaingin atau memang kamu jalan aja dengan Emma?
I think I'm more of just going along with my own path and seeing what happens there. I obviously look towards those people, and I feel really happy for them because they are where I want to be. Like, I want to be able to perform for people and inspire people as well. I would love to be in that place. But yeah, I guess it's just a little bit difficult. So I'm trying to take a bit of a more easygoing approach. I'm just trying to relax, and I'm still at a point where I think I'm exploring the sounds that I want to be making. So I think even for me, I might not be exactly ready to be put up the way that they are, but I definitely do want that one day, and I know that when that day comes, I'll be a lot more ready.
Ready to go.
Ready to go,
ready
yeah.
To sing.
Ready to sing, with looking the way that I want and sounding the way that I want to. So yeah.
What is your dream in this music?
Probably to inspire people with my music, honestly. I feel like that's a very thing to say, but
kamu jadi artis yang terkenal atau memang mau berkarya aja? Kan banyak yang sekarang singkatnya ya, banyak yang pengen cepat terkenal, pengen cepat dikenal, habis itu nggak tahu.
Yeah, I mean
5 tahun ke depan atau 10 tahun, oh ya udah. Kadang banyak sih sebenarnya sih yang dibaca tuh mereka berkaryanya cuma instan secara cepat.
Yeah.
Mereka nggak mau yang secara bener-bener. Kalau gue perhatiin tuh ada 2 fase atau 3 lah yang memang lagi kebesit aja nih, lagi di industri luas. Itu yang mana tuh yang kamu pilih tuh kayak kamu gimana gitu.
I mean, for me, also why joining labels in the beginning was kind of hard was because I felt like my identity of a musician was so tied to who I was. So I feel like for me it's the same. Music is not just a job to me. Music, I think honestly, if I could choose an easier way out of this, I would. Being a musician is not easy, but for some reason I keep coming back to it. I keep writing music, I keep singing, and I can't seem to get away from it. I just like it a lot, and it's who I am. And so I think for me, that's how I approach my music. And I think for me, it's more than just a job or something that I'm doing just because I have the talent. It feels like it's embedded in who I am, and it's essential for other people to understand
Berarti
me as well.
banyakin karya aja, jalan aja gitu.
Yeah,
Jalan
for
aja
sure.
dulu, karya dulu. Karena kan kebetulan kita nggak ada yang tahu.
Yeah,
Kalau ada
exactly.
5 lagu, kita nggak ada yang tahu. Kadang kan ada yang berpikirnya beda gitu. Kita kan ya saya juga bukan anak band ya, cuman di belakang layar aja cuma ngebaca nih naiknya lagi ini, terus tahun depan beda lagi. Nah Emma ini nanti untuk di tahun depan planningnya nanti kan setelah udah di label nih, ada harapannya nggak nanti atau mau gimana dari Emma atau dari label buat Emma ke depannya 5 tahun lagi lah atau 2 tahun lagi, kan kita harus berpikirnya nggak cuma di sekarang, kita bisa estimasi berpikir waktu gimana.
Well, I think I want what almost every other artist wants. That I have a discography or a set of music that really feels like it connects with me, and that we're able to hone down on what that exactly is, and hopefully perform at more venues too, because I haven't really performed in any big venues yet, and I would love to be invited to those and get some experience in that personally. But yeah, I just hope to get a fan base and just keep having something to go back to, and because I think having that fan base will be very helpful for me in knowing also what to write and who to be and what they want. So I feel like my goal is to probably create that fan base, and then just find and experiment more with music, and hopefully find more opportunities to just go on more interviews, perform more on bigger stuff, collaborations, if possible, just accepting anything at this point. So yeah.
Goals in the world?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, goals in the world, maybe?
Goals you mean like go globally?
Yeah.
I mean, I would obviously love that a lot. I guess we'll just see how it goes. I was saying in an interview the other day, with social media, like, it's just, you can really reach so many different kinds of people now. So hopefully, now with the technology that we do today, I can reach a bigger audience if that is what will happen. But I don't know. You can't control those things, in my opinion. So,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.